What if I told you the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL right now has never started a single regular season game?
Oh, Mary Kay Cabot is back at it again. Here we go. I gotta just love these notifications that pop up right here on X with my breaking news here that Deshaun Watson has taken the lead over Shedeur Sanders in the Browns quarterback competition and has the inside track to win it. Here's what she says. Mary Kay's expert opinion here, everybody. I think they should declare him QB1 ASAP and let the first team offense start to cook. There's no time to waste. Screw you, Mary Kay. This is the dumbest stuff. Are you freaking kidding me? Wait. Did we not watch Deshaun Watson the last time he was on the field? I'm sorry. I know I spent a lot of time on this podcast supporting and defending Deshaun Watson for the first couple years he was here because at the time I still thought he could be a good quarterback. Newsflash, those days have gone. That ship has sailed. This guy can't play quarterback anymore. He freaking sucks. Why would we waste a single rep of anything on Deshaun Watson? We need to know Shedeur Sanders is the future for this team. Can he be the quarterback in 2027? He needs the entire season to prove it, yes or no. And by the way, don't you think Shedeur Sanders has kind of earned that right? He's the 24-year-old young quarterback who's on a rookie contract with the Browns and actually has a potential future in the NFL. Deshaun Watson has no future in the NFL. Are you freaking kidding me, Mary Kay? Ugh, this stuff drives me nuts, and you guys know that. And Mary Kay is anybody but Shedeur. A lot of these Cleveland media have that mindset. She wanted Ty Simpson at pick frickin' 6 in the draft. That's what she was advocating for. She wants Dylan Gabriel to get a fair crack at it again, for God's sake. It drives me nuts. Let me know what you guys think. Are you with Mary Kay? Should Deshaun Watson just be named QB1 and let's see what he can do? By the way, he's on the final year of his deal. He's not coming back. He's not coming back after this. So why the hell would we waste any more time on a failed experiment with Deshaun Watson? Just let's see what Shedeur Sanders can freaking do. This is why I know a lot of people hate the Cleveland media, and it's why I can't stand it.
Hey, we've got Joe
either.
Barton appearing on the show in about a half hour in Detroit. You're going to Detroit as well. Do you believe that it is a clean slate, that Deshaun Watson is going to be the number one guy when all is said and done?
I think that for Todd Monken, it absolutely, he's coming in with no preconceived notions, I guess is the way I would put it. I think it's harder for us, Lima, and fans of the team to disassociate what we've seen from Deshaun previously and even other guys previously. I mean, even Shedeur last year and Dylan Gabriel last year.
Right now, inside the Cleveland Browns facility, something is happening that the entire NFL is watching. A quarterback battle. But not just any battle. This is Deshaun Watson, once a top 5 QB in the league, fighting for his football life. And standing directly across from him, Shedeur Sanders, a rookie, a legacy, a name that sounds like a prophecy. If you're a football fan in America right now, this is the story. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this moment matters. Not just for Cleveland, not just for these two men, but for the entire future of the quarterback position in the NFL. Hit that subscribe button right now, because we're just getting started.
Fans are awesome. The organization is dysfunctional, and there's no other way to put that. Where I see them right now, if I was in the decision-making chair of who should be my starter when we start in OTAs and we go to our first mandatory minicamp, I'm starting Shedeur Sanders. And the reason is a lot of people will talk about his stats and, hey, he threw more interceptions and touchdowns and his EPA this and his EPA that, and this was bad. Well, what they did with him at quarterback was they won games. And that, to me, is one of the most important things for the quarterback position. When you step into the huddle, when you step on the field, do you believe that you have a chance to win with the guy that is in the huddle with you at quarterback? And the Cleveland Browns locker room believes they can win with Shedeur Sanders. That they don't believe they can win with Deshaun Watson. They don't believe that they can win with Dylan Gabriel. And that, to me, says this should be the guy, and it's his job to lose at that point. I know they're paying Deshaun Watson a boatload of money, but at the end of the day, he has not looked like the guy that they got from the Houston Texans for a number of reasons. And when you're talking about a young man who's dealt with the pressure, who had all the odds stacked against him last year, no reps basically in the preseason, didn't get any first team reps before he became a starter. Before the week he became a starter, he wasn't even throwing to guys like Jerry Jeudy. So I think Shedeur Sanders should be that starter. He has the mental makeup, the confidence to get it done. And then if he gets beat out by either Deshaun Watson or Dylan Gabriel, then you let it be what it is. But the Browns need direction. They can't keep being dysfunctional.
I don't need to see Deshaun Watson ever play a football game again for the Cleveland Browns. Like I've seen everything I need to see. I've learned everything that I can possibly learn. To me, there's just no chance that the guy from 6 years ago, the fastest way to fall behind in this league, Lemma, isn't like just getting hurt or whatever. It's you don't play competitive football regularly for 6 years. How am I supposed to believe that you even know how the game's changed and keep up with it all? The game changes so quick.
It's hard to believe that anybody could.
So I have nothing else to learn about Deshaun Watson. I'd rather see Shedeur Sanders for that reason.
Let's go back, not 5 years ago, not 10. Let's go back to a time when Deshaun Watson was genuinely one of the most electrifying players on earth. 2020, Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson is throwing touchdowns like he's playing a video game. 4,823 yards, 33 touchdowns. The league is terrified of him. Offensive coordinators are losing sleep. Fans in Cleveland are dreaming of the day he puts on a Browns jersey. And then, life happened. Surgeries, suspensions, silence. Years of silence, the kind that makes you forget what a player even looked like under the lights. By the time Watson suited up for Cleveland, something felt different, off, like watching a cover song of your favorite artist, technically correct, but missing the soul. He threw 19 passes in 2024, 19 in an entire season. Think about that for a second. Meanwhile, in Colorado, a young man with his father's last name and his own fire was doing something nobody thought was possible. Shedeur Sanders was throwing footballs in the Rocky Mountain air and making NFL scouts drive hours just to watch practice. Just practice. Now it's 2025. New coach Tom Monken walks into Cleveland with no baggage, no grudges, no predetermined answer. He's staring at a QB room with Watson, Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel, and he has to make the biggest call of his first year as an NFL head coach. Here's what the outside world is saying. Analysts, executives, fans, people who study this game for a living are going back and forth every single day. On one side, you've got the camp that believes in the experience argument. Watson, at his peak, had forgotten more football than Sanders has ever seen. He's been through playoff pressure. He's dissected defenses that would make a rookie freeze. But here's the counter, and this is where it gets real. Watson hasn't played competitive football in nearly 6 years. 6 years! The NFL is not the same game it was 6 years ago. The speed is different. The schemes are different. The reads are different. You think you can take 6 years off in any elite profession and just walk back in and compete at the highest level? And the surgeries. Oh, the surgeries. The shoulder, the Achilles, ruptured twice. 2 Achilles tears on the same man. Medical professionals will tell you that recovering from one Achilles rupture and getting back to pre-injury athleticism takes years. Watson has done it twice. Nobody even knows if the athlete we fell in love with is still in there.
The quarterback competition, and I think might be leading Shedeur Sanders.
Mike T, from a big picture perspective, which one makes more sense to you if you're Cleveland?
Shedeur Sanders, what are we talking about here? Deshaun Watson has played in 19 games since 2000. Shedeur Sanders, we need to know what we have, so in the future we know if we need a quarterback. To me, this would be improbable if he played.
So again, outside looking in, like it just is obvious. If you're expecting the Browns just to be bad this year, then you throw Shedeur out there. You see if he takes some kind of a crazy leap. They've rebuilt an offensive line.
But here's the moment nobody's talking about, and this is the part that should give every Shedeur Sanders fan chills. Tom Monken, the man making this decision, is not evaluating history. He's not watching 2020 highlights and making calls. He's building a roster. He's building a system. He's building his legacy. And a former NFL executive someone who has seen hundreds of quarterback competitions from the inside, said it plainly. Shedeur Sanders is the obvious choice if Cleveland is serious about their future. Not because Watson is done, not because experience doesn't matter, but because the NFL draft capital, the contract situation, the trajectory, all of it points to the same conclusion. You evaluate what you have, not what someone used to be. And Shedeur Sanders showed in limited snaps last year what very few rookies ever show: splash play potential, pocket presence, and an instinct that you simply cannot teach. You can teach a quarterback reads, you can teach protection schemes, you cannot teach the feeling of knowing where to go with the ball before the pressure arrives. Shedeur has that, and everyone in football knows it. But let's talk about Shedeur Sanders, the human being, for a second, because this story isn't just about football. This young man grew up with the world watching. His father is Deion Sanders, prime time, one of the most decorated athletes in American sports history. You would think that makes things easier. It does not. It makes everything harder. Every throw Shedeur makes, somebody's questioning if he belongs. Every completion, somebody's crediting his dad. Every incompletion, somebody's saying he's a fraud who rode on a legacy. The noise around this man is unlike anything most quarterbacks ever face. And he played through it. At Colorado, under a national spotlight, with every camera in the country pointed at every mistake he ever made. You know what that does to a person? Most people buckle. Most people disappear. Most people find a reason to protect themselves from that kind of pressure. Shedeur Sanders leaned in. He put the ball in his hands and said, "Watch me." That mentality, that refusal to shrink, that is what NFL teams pay franchise money for. You cannot manufacture that in a film room. You cannot scheme your way into that kind of fire. Myles Garrett, arguably the best defensive player in football, has publicly said Shedeur earned the starting role. That's not a small thing. That's not a teammate being nice. That is a man who has been in championship environments saying this guy is different.
Careers, it's not far-fetched to think that guy at practice in the spring and in training camp and in preseason games where teams aren't really scheming things up for you is going to probably look like the best quarterback on the roster. He should. And if he doesn't, by the way, what does that say about him? He shouldn't be in a league if he can't beat out two guys that were just rookies last year and have no experience whatsoever. So,
well, that's for sure.
Right. So to me, it's not crazy to think that Deshaun ultimately wins the job, even if that's not what I want to see happen.
Man, it is. It's crazy to find a relevant comp like this for somebody that it's been this long since they played good football.
So what actually happens? Tom Monken runs training camp. He watches, he evaluates, he makes the call, and the football world holds its breath. Because if Watson wins the job, and it's genuinely possible, Cleveland is betting on a ghost of greatness. They're betting on a man whose best football might be permanently behind him. They're taking a gamble that the surgery's healed right, that the rust dissolved, that the brain and the body reconnected after years of separation. Maybe it works. Geno Smith was away from relevance for years and found lightning in a bottle. It happens. But if Shedeur Sanders gets that jersey, if he walks out under those Cleveland lights as the starter, the NFL has a new story, a generational one. This is not a battle between two quarterbacks. This is a battle between the past and the future, between what was and what could be, between a franchise clinging to a sunk cost and a franchise choosing to believe in something that hasn't fully arrived yet. And here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. The NFL waits for nobody. The game moves forward whether you're ready or not. The teams that win are the ones brave enough to bet on tomorrow. Cleveland has a choice, and Shedeur Sanders is standing there, hands out, ready to carry it. When this QB battle is over, when the dust settles in training camp and the depth chart is posted, one of these men will walk into that facility as the Cleveland Browns' starting quarterback, and the other will have to live with what could have been. That's the weight of competition at the highest level. No second chances dressed as third chances. No comfort and reputation. Just the field, just the ball, just the moment. Shedeur Sanders has been waiting his whole life for this moment. The only question now is whether Cleveland is brave enough to give it to him. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Cleveland Browns should hand Shedeur Sanders the starting job or give Deshaun Watson one final chance to prove the world wrong? Drop your answer in the comments right now, because this conversation is just getting started. And trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next.